Good morning, Seattle. I am Mattilda Bernstein Sycamore, and I'm speaking to you from my apartment on Capitol Hill. We are living in challenging times, right? I wrote a book, The Freezer Door, about desire and its impossibility. And then just months before its publication, everything got worse. The possibilities for communal engagement with desire in everyday experience practically vanished. But at least now we have protest. On that note, let's just start by saying Black Lives Matter, abolish the police, banish Jenny Durkin in shame and infamy. And let's raise that tax on Amazon to 100% as a start. Like I said, I wrote a book about alienation and then everything got worse. But at least we still have dreaming, right? So this book, The Freezer Door, is for everyone who still dreams of the city, for everyone who still dreams in the city, and for everyone who still dreams. Let's dream together. So I'm going to read just a little bit. The book comes out in November, and my book launch will be co-sponsored by Hugo House and Elliott Bay Book Company. And if you're inspired, you can pre-order a signed copy of the book from the newly unionized Elliott Bay Book Company. Or you can also order from whatever your favorite independent bookstore is. So, without further ado, I'm just going to read just a little bit from The Freezer Door. Here we go. Sometimes I look outside my apartment and see gay couples walking down the street, and I'm filled with something that could only be called love. Yes, love. And I don't know what this means, since I can be fairly certain they don't love me back. I mean, I say this from 25 years as an avowedly queer person in the world. A faggot and a queen and whatever else. 25 years that these gay men have not loved me back, so I can be fairly certain they never will. Especially not in this town, where most of them will not even meet my eyes. They will not say hello. They will not reply to a smile or a wave or a wayward glance, except with a glance in the opposite direction. I know I live in Seattle. I know they call this the Seattle Freeze. People say this is the Nordic heritage, but it didn't even exist as a term a few decades ago. It's the way gentrification robs you of any perspective except the wrong one. This walking death. And Sarah Schulman says something in one of her books that really shocked me. Something that I'm still getting over. She describes going to the LGBT Center in New York for a community meeting and thinking, these are my people. Which is something I've literally never thought in my life. So then I'm at Pony again. There's no smoke machine, so I dance right away. But who are all these shady queens? Queens, Joe keeps saying. Queens. So at least I have that. Even though I thought his name was Nick, but that's his ex-boyfriend's name. I met them at the same time. People are dancing, but they'll only dance with people they know. This one girl comes over to do a few moves with me, but then she literally says, I have to go back to my friends. Her friends are 5 feet away. Why do people go to bars if they're only going to talk to the people they know? On the way home, I stop in at the Cuff, even though I told myself I would never stop in there again. I'm at the urinal, and some guy tells me he's taking off his t-shirt and just leaving it there. He throws it on the floor and buttons his other shirt. Finally, he says, I'm free of my girdle. Thank you for talking to me. No one will talk to me because I'm 54. And somehow, this feels like the most connected moment of my night. I see a discarded Franzia box. and remember a former life. Really, it was only a few months in 97, carrying box wine around like it would save me. Because of some guy I met at Basic Plumbing. He came home with me and we took a shower together. He asked if he could wash my face. I'd never let anyone do that before. It felt so intimate. In the morning, he left while I was still sleeping or still in bed. He didn't even leave a note. That's how I ended up with Franzia. An awakening. A shutting down. I'm in the herb store wondering why they don't have what I came here for. And then I realize I can't remember what I came here for. Until I'm on the phone with Randy just losing my shit. I mean, now it's the next night and I can't believe I live here. I mean, I can't believe I'm trying so hard to have fags in my life, but nothing's working. None of these people who supposedly want to be friends can even commit to coming over for 5 minutes once a week. Randy says, it's not like it's better in San Francisco. And maybe he's right. Last time I was visited, I was worried I might want to move back, but actually, it just felt empty. Or not empty, but flat. Flattened. Like I was living a life I already knew, but there wasn't enough life. And where are all the trees? Randy and I met at Blow Buddies. And look at us now, 8 years later. I talked to Randy more than anyone in Seattle. Do you see what I mean about the phone? It's a life preserver. There's a tree I love on the way to Volunteer Park. White flowers except in one tiny part by the trunk where purple flowers grow. Every year this happens. Or twice a year, because in Seattle, everything blooms twice. And I wish this wasn't just literal. I'm in the park. If I listen carefully enough, maybe the sound of the chirping birds will drown out the leaf blowers. I wake up with a phrase in my head about trying to get my body back. Back from my father. Except, I don't know if I've ever had it. Not in all the ways I need. I wake up with a phrase that became a whole paragraph. But what was it? There was confidence there too. Confidence that I would succeed. But then I'm outside and already I'm too exhausted to reach down to pick up a good luck penny. What if I can't get back up off the ground? I turn the radio on and some soldier or former soldier is talking about watching pieces of his friend's skull blown off his head. I think there are limits to this kind of mourning. Then there's a thunderstorm. No, it's just the trucks hauling away the debris from the 2 beautiful houses they tore down yesterday. Making way for a new building to house people who could have been housed better and more cheaply in the old buildings. Sometimes we wait so long that we're no longer waiting. And sometimes we wait so long that we're dead. Once, I treated myself for parasites the way the doctors recommended. I treated myself, and I never recovered from the treatment. Everyone says they want to catch up. I mean, when they actually call back. But I want relationships where we don't have to catch up. Sometimes I feel like an entire culture has misplaced something. And it's everything. Thank you.